Okay, yard fanatics, look. This is the review you've been waiting on, the Fiskars 18-inch Real Mower review, brought to you by BYD. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we got a little dog back there upset because we're here. But listen, this is the review that you guys have been waiting on. Now, I'm not at my property. I'm at another property. Excuse me, still got those allergies, guys. But I wanted to bring it out to a property that had some weeds in it because I read some stuff about this this real mower here. Now, personally, it's a good mower, but it has its pros and it has its cons. Okay, guys, this thing has a lot of things you need to know about. You can adjust the cutting height from 1 inch, see it right there, to 4 inch. All right, I'm not using my gimbal, so it's not going to be as fluid because I got to get a little bit closer. And I think each of these represent ½ an inch adjustment like that. We'll put it at 2 inches. Wait a minute, let me see, 1 inch. Okay, all the way up to 4 inches, but those represent, don't quote me on it, ½ inch adjustments, but it adjusts pretty easy. The blades are fairly sharp. The handlebar is something else though. Handlebar goes back and forth. Now it doesn't lock. Like if you hit something, it doesn't lock. You can adjust the cutting, the handlebar height with these right here. You basically take that quarter pan out and find your height, well, what's comfortable for you, and you lock it in. That's on both sides. The wheels are made out of rubber, complete rubber. Has a little carrying handle right there if you need to pick it up. Now, the weird thing is, if you leave this like this, all the grass is gonna come forward. But it's not gonna get cut again. It's just gonna leave it on the ground. If you adjust it this way, you pull it forward like I just did like that, the grass will fall. Yep, that grass will fall straight out the back right there. Now the handlebars, fairly comfortable, has some type of foam rubber on it. It's not thick, it's kind of contoured to the handle itself. The unit itself is light, and it also kind of reminds me of the Batmobile, the one with can't think of that guy's name, but I'll put a picture of it up. It kind of looks like the Batmobile. Let's look at this thing. All right, guys, look. What we're gonna do is go ahead and we're gonna push this thing, and we're gonna kind of compare it to Goliath over there. All right, this is David, that's Goliath. Will you get a better cut with this? That's what we're here for. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Take care, Jarvis. hold up. And basically what he's gonna do is push it down here, and we're gonna see, basically what it does. All right, you can go ahead and push it. Don't push it too fast because I want you to kind of see it. But guys, like I said, this one is built different from the other ones. If you can stop for just a second. You see it's a big gap where normally it's the, don't push this because my fingers are down there, where as the old one, the Scots one, there's a bar that this thing actually scrapes and cuts. One of the downfalls I noticed so far with this thing is when you're cutting tall grass and it's not hardy, you're not going to get a real good cut. If you have tall weeds in it, it's not going to cut the weeds. Like right here, we used it on this, and it left that dying off poana still standing up. Because of the way it's designed, it's not actually hitting it and taking it up off the ground. It's not cutting it. It's grabbing the grass like this. But if your grass is flimsy or leaning over, it's just not going to get it. And, and we got this set to where the grass is going to come forward. All right, I think I got it set right at 2.5 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Jarvis push that. All right. He's gonna turn around and come back while he's doing it. I'm gonna show you what's left. You see all that grass that's left? It's not going to mulch it. All right, we're gonna go back over it and see if that does anything. Nope, it just dropped it off. So that's one of the downfalls of this thing. If you're not gonna use it often, you're gonna have issues. If you're cutting your grass often, then you should be fine. All right, hold on for just a second. All right, I got it dumping it from the back. All right, now it's gonna push it out forward. Go ahead, go. Got the grass coming out there. All right, he's gonna turn around, gonna run back over that. Now, with it dumping it from the front, it actually chewed it up a little bit more. All right, he went back over it. But yet again, that tall, I'm gonna get down in here. I want you to see this. That pointer is still there. So that blade is not catching super tall grass. You're gonna actually have to go over it. Probably with a weed eater or something to get that up. All right, he's gonna come by again. Let's see this. And there's another thing too. If you hit a rock or anything like that and it gets caught in that blade, it's gonna stop it. If you hit a stick, it's going to stop it. So if you have a rocky lawn and you're trying to take this thing down to the white meat, that means you're cutting it as low as it can go. I wouldn't suggest that. Here we come again. All right, and let me show you one other thing. Fanatics, look, I got my tape measure. I just want you to see. Now, this part right here, I actually took it all the way down as low as the Fiskars says it can go, which is supposedly 1 inch. All right, now that's lower than 1 inch. That's lower than 1 inch. But what I want to show you is if you can look, and you may not be able to see it, but there are gouge patterns in the grass as you go across it, where the blade hits it and kind of cuts it. It kind of leaves a gouge mark in it. Now, after a day, that'll fade away because the grass will grow back. If you don't have perfectly leveled grass, would not suggest taking it down as low as the Fiskars can go. Overall, it does a good job on the lawn that does not have a lot of weeds in it. Got a lot of weeds, you may be in trouble. So right now, the part that we just cut is roughly, let me get down here. I'm gonna get down here. I like to get in the grass. Hold still. Now it's showing 2 inches. One of the things I learned is when you have a heavy mower and you put it on like that beast over there. You see that beast? That beast over there? That beast right there. If I take it down to 1 inch, because of the weight, it's gonna actually cut lower. This Fiskars is pretty light, so it's saying it's at 2 inches. So we'll roll with that. But if that mower over there, I think I got it set at 2.5 inches, and it's cutting right at what this is cutting at. If you get what I'm saying. But yeah, that Fiskars is leaving a lot of tall blades, not the Bermuda grass and not the zoysia grass that I did in the Instagram video, but the weeds. It's just, it won't get them. So if you got taller grass, it's not going to get it. If your grass does not have hardiness in it, you're not using enough potash or potassium to build up the hardiness of your grass, the stiffness, it's just not gonna cut it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him finish cutting this. And actually it's a part with some bigger weeds at, and I'll let you see that. But look, even over here where it's near this mulch, any little stick or mulch or rock or anything this thing hits, once it catches, stop for just a sec. See it just jam, it's doing it now. It's doing it now. It'll jam up. You're not gonna be able to cut through that. All right. As far as pushing it, it's real easy. It's real easy. I will suggest that you have it throw the grass forward and not leave it behind. Has a pretty smooth ride. But yeah, any little rocket catches, it's gonna stop. All right, let's get over here to the other side and I'll show you. Okay guys, now this over here is showing right at 4.5, 5 inches. Fiskars is right at 2, so we're gonna see what kind of damage it does on this grass. See guys, when you get to some super thick grass,
you think you need to throw this, shoot it back?
Yeah, you can. So let's go ahead and try that. We had some super thick grass, so we're gonna have it so it'll leave the grass in the back, and we'll see if we can push through that. Okay, so if you get super high grass, lift it up, you can push through it. Still leaves a mess behind it. Matter of fact, hold on for just a second, Jarvis. Look, that's 5-inch Bermuda grass cut down to 2 inches, and you can see it's not mulching at all. So you'll have a mess left on your. Listen, if you get this Fiskars, you're gonna have to use it often. This is not something that you come out every 2 weeks and think that you're gonna have fun. You're not. You know, if you're coming out every three days or so, cool. If you got a large property, I'm gonna talk about that at the end of this review. But let's go ahead and push that again and see what happens. And you see guys, it's coming out the back right now. All right, now guys, look, I'm about to show you this thing cut on these big weeds right here. You see that big weed? I'm gonna focus on that. All right, it cut the top of it off, but it left the stem part, and that's kind of higher than the grass around it. So like I said, it's not cutting. It's not giving me a clean cut on the first cut every time. I don't expect that with super tall grass. But if your expectations of a real mower was for it to do that, then that's just not going to happen. All right, and Jarvis he's having fun, you know.
I'm having fun, man.
Yeah, he having fun. I personally, I had fun with it when I first got it too. But listen, my lawn is a little bit more level, and I cut it way more often. So to get the full benefit of this Fiskars 18-inch reel mower, you need to cut your yard often. Make sure you don't. Okay, yard fanatics. Look, this is the David and Goliath part of the video. Listen, by no means if you're a commercial lawnmower service that you're gonna ride with that. All right, does that have any commercial responsibilities? No. This is strictly for a homeowner who just enjoys cutting his yard, getting exercise, coming out every 2 to 3 days, cutting a small property area, and it'll get the job done. If you're riding commercial, you have to go with a bigger mower. I'm sorry. Now, it's not practical to ride around with a real mower cutting people's lawns unless you're doing it regularly. But going out every 2 weeks, gotta have a commercial mower. Rotary mower. This has the mulching kit on it, which is a whole lot better than discharging. Saves you a whole lot of time on cleanup, and just cuts down on waste, period. This is gonna win each and every time. if you're cutting your yard every 2 to 3 days and you don't have a weedy lawn, then the reel mower will work for you. If you have a weedy lawn, do not purchase this. Do not spend your money on a reel mower and you have a weedy lawn. You have to get those weeds out of your lawn to enjoy the benefits of having a mower like that. It's more of a novelty item. It's not something I would buy as my primary mower. I would make sure I have a gas powered or battery powered mower first before I actually invest in one of those, because you will get tired of using it. It's just gonna be some days you just don't feel like doing all that walking and pushing and trying to be exactamundo. It's $200 investment. I'll use it at my house, but like I said, it's only on certain parts of the lawn, like this strip area out here, and I got a real kind of tight area on the left side of my house facing it that I would probably use it on. But the reel mower, guys, in my opinion, I would not buy one. I'm sorry. It's just, it's gonna make your grass look good. If you're retired, then yeah, that might be a different story. But for a working man to come home and really spend a lot of time playing with this thing right here, it's just not gonna get it, guys. You're gonna have to get you a rotary small, not nothing like that. You know, this is a more of a commercial thing. But the investment in this, to me, is not worth it if you're not gonna use it every 3 days to cut your grass. And your grass should not have weeds in it. It's gonna have to be a hardy grass, you know, something with a little hardness to it. If you're trying to keep your Bermuda grass at 4 and 5 inches, then this is not for you. That 4-inch setting to me is for somebody who is cutting a fescue lawn. Now the fescue cut may be different from the Bermuda cut. Let's get that straight now. I'm talking about for as a Bermuda. But no, guys, I would not make the investment in the Fiskars 18-inch reel mower if you're not retired and you're not going to use it every 3 to 4 days. And if your yard has weeds in it, you're just not going to enjoy it. I'm sorry. So what would I give this between a 1 through 10, 10 being the best? If you have a yard that's not weedy, I'm gonna get this baby a 10, believe it or not. If you got a yard that is weedy, maybe a 6, because you're just gonna get upset when you keep seeing all that grass left and the weeds still standing up after you cut it. This is not a primary cut mower. This is more of a novelty. Every 3 to 4 day lawnmower. You know, you want to get out there, get a little exercise, but this would not be my primary mower. So guys, you know, this is the end of the review. It could be a little bit more extensive, but I don't want to spend 45 minutes doing it. So guys, just remember one thing. You are tuned into Bermuda Grass Central with BYD with the Reel Mower Review. This is Michael Bowman, and I'll talk to you soon.